What happens when a small-scale farmer's livelihood depends on both the ancient rhythm of the river and the modern pulse of global commerce? In the verdant region of Northern Uganda, 34-year-old Ayesha Nakado inspects rows of vibrant bell peppers on her 3-acre farm. The morning sun gleams off irrigation channels that direct precious Nile water to her export-quality crops. 10 years ago, this same plot grew only enough maize and cassava to feed her family, with perhaps a small surplus for the local market. Today, her produce travels further than she ever has. My grandmother would not recognize farming as I practice it, Ayesha says, adjusting the soil moisture sensor that helps her optimize water usage. She taught me to watch the clouds for rain. Now I watch export prices and shipping schedules too. Ayesha represents a growing cohort of small-scale farmers along the Nile who have transitioned from subsistence agriculture to export-oriented production. This shift has fundamentally changed their relationship with the river. Water serves as both a life-giving resource and a production input connecting them to global supply chains, much like how individual raindrops join to form the mighty Nile itself. The transformation began when an agricultural cooperative approached Ayesha about growing high-value crops for European markets. The proposition was compelling, better income, but with new challenges. Export markets demanded consistent quality, specific varieties, and strict adherence to food safety standards. Most critically, they required reliable irrigation that only the Nile could provide. The first season was difficult, Ayesha recalls. I had to learn about pesticide restrictions in Europe, packaging requirements, cooling chains, all while making sure my irrigation system delivered exactly the right amount of water at the right time. Her farm now produces 3 varieties of peppers, green beans, and specialty herbs destined for European supermarkets. Each harvest begins a journey from her Nile-irrigated fields to processing facilities in Kampala, then by air to Europe. This global connection creates a profound emotional shift. Ayesha now worries equally about local weather patterns and market conditions thousands of miles away. The connection between Nile water and global markets extends beyond fresh produce. The fertile soil enriched by the river's historic floods has long enabled large-scale production of agricultural products. Egypt, drawing on the Nile's reliable flow, has been exporting to Mediterranean markets since ancient times. The Suez Canal symbolizes this global connection, linking the Nile Delta directly to international shipping routes. This 120-mile waterway connects the Mediterranean to the Red Sea, dramatically shortening the journey between Europe and Asia. For Nile farmers, the canal represents the vital final link connecting their livelihoods to world markets. In 2019 alone, nearly 19,000 vessels carried over 1 billion tons of cargo through the canal, up from 17,800 ships and 691.8 million tons in 2011. For farmers like Ayesha, these growing numbers represent expanding opportunities, but also increasing vulnerability to global disruptions. When the Ever Given blocked the canal in 2021, the effects rippled back to small producers. Our cooperative had 4 shipments delayed, she explains. For fresh produce, even a few days can mean total loss. We had to quickly find local buyers for what we could, but at much lower prices. This incident highlighted how Nile water feeds into complex global interdependencies. A single disruption anywhere along this chain, from water access to shipping logistics, can threaten livelihoods thousands of miles from the problem source. Integration into global markets brings additional challenges for Nile Basin farmers. International certification requirements create significant hurdles for small producers. Ayesha maintains detailed records of water usage, fertilizer applications, and harvest conditions to satisfy European importers. Her cooperative pooled resources to obtain global GAP certification, without which European markets would remain closed to them. Sometimes it feels like we're farming paperwork as much as peppers, Ayesha says, showing a thick binder of compliance documents. But without these certifications, we cannot access the markets that pay premium prices. Climate variability presents perhaps the most serious threat to this delicate balance. For export farmers, water scarcity means potential exclusion from markets that demand consistent quality and volume. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance. Dam introduces additional uncertainty. While potentially beneficial for overall water management, the dam will alter river flow patterns that farmers have relied upon. Despite these challenges, the Nile continues to serve as a crucial artery connecting African agricultural production to global markets. This position creates opportunities beyond traditional agriculture. Some farmers specialize in high-value niche products, while others form direct relationships with European retailers. Agricultural processing facilities are emerging along the Nile, allowing producers to export finished products rather than raw commodities. For Ayesha, this evolution continues. She recently invested in solar-powered cold storage that extends her produce's shelf life. Her cooperative is exploring digital platforms that connect them directly with specialty retailers in Europe. My children see possibilities I never imagined, Ayesha says. My daughter studies agricultural economics and talks about supply chains and value addition. My son is interested in organic certification and premium markets. Like the Nile itself, which begins as distant mountain streams before flowing across continents, Ayesha's farm represents how local efforts join larger currents of global commerce. Her children's futures, built on her struggle to balance ancient water rhythms with modern market demands, embody the river's enduring power to connect and transform the lives it touches.